Okay, the Pointless Void is back, everyone. I finally found a new co-host to replace Tom. It's been way too long, probably 6 months, because apparently I only ever do an episode every 6 months. But we have my new co-host, Garrett, here. Hello, Garrett.
Hello.
And I didn't tell you, you have some water to your side, so if you start choking on your own words, you can sip a little water.
Cool, that probably happens a lot.
Yeah. I hope we're funny, because we're funny together when we have Allie to make fun of. But I feel like if Allie's not here, we might be not as funny.
Yeah. We'll see.
But so before we start, I'm going to show you a Horrible Hilarious. I got this from Your Mom's House podcast. They do Horrible Hilarious, and I thought it would be fun. And then we'll jump into writing movies like we normally do. So watch this, Garrett. Oh, and by the way, if you're listening, you can go see the video on YouTube. We're not recording ourselves video, but the videos we watch will be there. So here we go. Sorry, dude. I find this stuff so funny. Okay, was that horrible or hilarious?
Oh my gosh.
Should we watch it again?
That was so dumb.
Yeah, okay, tell me why he's like, guys, get the camera, I'm going to jump off the roof. Like, why?
Well, and then he tries to land on his feet.
And he has, like, boots. He has...
First of all, what are you doing on top of the roof?
No idea.
Right? Because, like...
Yeah, because I think
it looks like he's coming out of that window.
Yeah, he, like, comes out of the... comes out of the window and just jumps with his, like, rain boots on.
Guys, check this out.
Oh, his legs... Dude, his legs are, like,
disgusting.
shattered.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
His femur is, like... both femurs are shattered.
Absolutely. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen someone do.
But was it horrible or was it hilarious?
It was kind of funny just because of how stupid it was.
That is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Like, the reason that it's funny is because of how dumb of a thought and idea that was. Like, what was he expecting to happen?
I don't know. I think he just wanted to make a cool video, but how would that even be cool?
Especially landing on your feet like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
No idea.
People are dumb.
People are dumb. Do you have any videos you've seen that you want me to watch? That we can... There's so many horrible videos. That's the only one that I like. Sometimes I'm afraid to watch videos like this because I'm afraid I'm going to be like grossed out.
Yeah.
But I like that one. Let's watch it one more time and then we'll move on. And then his friends are just laughing at him. He just like... He shattered his femurs and his friends are just laughing.
Yeah. I mean, that just kind of shows you how dumb and funny that is that his friends were laughing as they watched his femurs just collapse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now we're going to write a movie.
Oh boy.
So I was trying to come up with a topic and I thought that I would find like a movie that's like really popular, but neither of us have seen.
Okay.
And then we only have the title.
Okay.
And then we make the movie with the title of a very popular movie that neither of us have seen.
All right.
And then I found this movie that's called The Pointless Void. And I'm assuming you've never seen this movie.
I've never seen that movie.
I've never seen this movie. And since our podcast is called The Pointless Void, I just have no idea what movie that would be. Is it a space movie? Is it a movie about a guy who has like severe depression and he has a void inside his heart? Or
I was thinking that, or either that, or like some really just like really stupid person. I don't know.
Yeah, his mind like
something like what you would expect going on inside of Mr. Bean's head.
Yeah, what was that movie? So it was like, was it called Roses for Alderaan, or what was that movie? It was like this guy, he had like a mental disability. I don't know what like he actually had, what they like would diagnose him with. Oh. But I guess the actual term would be like retardation.
Yeah.
And anyway, he was taking this drug, or it was like a experimental thing that like made him smarter. And so he became really smart. and he became less likable. But
naturally,
and then the drug like wore off, and then he became dumb again. That's the movie, and it's also a book. It's a good movie, but when I was thinking about the void, like he doesn't have anything in his head.
Yeah.
But then he tries to fill it, but it's like it's not real substance. It's just garbage in there. I don't know. But that's movie's already created.
Yeah.
What's another popular movie that if we don't do The Pointless Void, what's like a super popular movie that you have no idea what it's about, but you've like heard about it?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I've seen a lot of movies.
That's most of the movies that I've heard of, I've seen, or I just can't think of because haven't been intrigued enough to watch them.
Ooh, The Void could be a horror movie.
Oh yeah, The Pointless Void.
The Pointless. Okay, that's what we're doing. Pointless Void is a horror movie. I mean, it's going to be hard to be funny when we're trying to write a horror movie, but we're going to attempt. Okay.
The Pointless Void does also just kind of seem like my life sometimes.
You're it's just the scariest movie ever. You grow up, you have no one, your friends die, your family dies, you never find a relationship. What is the point of this? That's kind of terrifying. That's a scary movie.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
Life living life pointlessly.
Yeah.
What gives life point, Garrett?
Jesus.
Jesus gives life. Jesus is your source. You seen?
But like I mean, I'm in a way joking, but at the same time, I'm being serious because I honestly don't know what point my life would have if I didn't have Jesus.
Fascinating. Let's talk about Jesus now. I guess that's true. If you believe in Jesus, that is your source, is your. So we're just making a Christian movie now? Christian movies are my least favorite movies of all time. A horror Christian movie? Is that what The Nun is? I've never seen The Nun.
I have no idea.
Okay. So our character is named Garrett.
The Pointless Void is about a Catholic priest.
He's trying to fill his void of what? Like not being able to hook up with little boys? Or like, what's the void that he's trying to fill?
That's all I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. A movie about a Catholic priest who is a pedophile, because all Catholic priests are, according to what I've seen online. Yeah. Which obviously isn't true, but it's more than you'd think, which is kind of terrifying. Anyway.
It's a generalization.
It's a generalization. But how is it that there are so many that have been convicted? What are the chances that like more than one exists? You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Because it seems like being a pedophile is like super rare, or I would hope it is.
Yeah.
So what are the chances that there were like 18 caught in like Pennsylvania?
I don't know. Because, I mean.
I think 18 is lowballing it. I think there was a lot more.
I don't know much about the Catholic religion.
That's loud.
I just haven't really done much research into it. I haven't really been around it a whole lot. So I don't know if priests swear a vow of celibacy.
Oh.
But if they do, then that might.
But then they're just like a human that has like human needs, and then they're only around little boys all the time.
Yeah.
That's actually fascinating. I mean, it's not good, but that's interesting. I've never thought of it that way. We need to get these priests laid or married or something, because dang, that sucks.
Yeah. That's
literally trying to fill the void with Jesus. He's not big enough. They need love. They need companionship.
Or they need a closer relationship with Jesus. One of the two.
One of the two. I mean, if they're being a priest that's a doing what he's supposed to do, he should have the closest relationship with Jesus, right?
Yeah.
When he prays a lot, he is teaching a lot, he's reading the Bible a lot. He should have the closest relationship of anybody.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know how well movies portray it,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times in movies they seem very holier than thou kind of.
Yeah.
No, like like they're good enough. You know what I mean? Like they're better than you and that type of stuff. I don't know. Very condescending, kind of facetious or not facetious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of a person decides they want to be a priest? They just grew up in the church and they loved it so much. They're like, let's live here. Like, I don't want to do that.
I don't know.
I get my fill trying to go once. And I'm like, hey, that was fine.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. See you baby next week, hopefully, probably.
But hey, I mean, I love talking about Jesus, and so if I could get paid to just talk about Jesus, why wouldn't I want to do that? You know what I mean?
I guess if you believe that everyone that doesn't accept Jesus goes to hell, and you believe in Jesus, I guess you would want to tell every single person always, every day.
Yeah.
So, and then you get bored and you try to hook up with little boys. Okay, that's the movie. Okay, so is the movie a horror movie about a priest, or we throw it away the priest?
I think we should
throw it away the priest. Throw it away the priest. Okay. Okay. Is the void a monster, or is the void? Is it like? Okay, so it could be a monster, but it only attacks people when they don't believe in Jesus anymore. Just get
Probably not.
no. Just make it like a super preachy horror movie. It's like the person that like goes to church and then they decide, it's not for me, and then they get sent to the void.
It's like basically if Shirley from Community were to make a whole horror movie.
Yes.
About that, right?
Yes. Yes,
Like
I was
like
watching
the episode of their horror stories, and she's somehow still preaching about Jesus in her horror story that she comes up with.
What was that weird like
Gay marriage?
Yeah, what was that weird episode where it was like this like social media thing that became like this like cult of where they got rated by people, and it's like if you were rated 5 stars, you like lived in this like you lived at the top.
Meow meow beans?
Yes. It doesn't make any sense. And then Jeff made his way to the top, but then Shirley and Jeff anyway.
Yeah.
It's a good show. I mean I started rewatching it again because you were talking about
How many
it.
times have you rewatched it?
I've seen it all the way through twice, and I just started it for the 3rd time.
Nice.
And I think on episode 14
Nice.
of season 1.
The first like 4 seasons are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Once Troy leaves, it goes down.
Yeah, season 5 and 6. Yeah, it's weird. Once they like graduated, and then Jeff becomes like a teacher.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, it's like, that's fine. It's kind of cool. He's a teacher, but
I mean, it does kind of explain, that part of it's pretty accurate about junior colleges, though.
yeah,
Like if you only go to a junior college, then more than likely you're just going to end up teaching somewhere.
yeah. Do you want to know something interesting? Me and Garrett are sitting inside a dorm room in a junior college right now. Garrett doesn't go to college, but I'm currently going to college, and we're in my dorm room right now.
But I didn't even graduate from junior college, so
Hey, that's fine. You don't have to.
I got tired of it.
I'm just trying to, I don't know. Why am I here?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to talk for a living. And so I think going to college is helpful. I don't know.
It's about the only thing college is good for, is to help you learn how to talk for a living.
Yeah, the pointless void, junior college. It's the pointless void.
The Pointless Void is a horror movie based at a junior college.
Now we're talking. Okay.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Like
Don't dox us, but like Yes, a middle of nowhere college. It's like an hour from regular civilization.
Yeah.
Why is there a college in the middle of the desert out here nowhere?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. It just kind of like was built in a couple months and then it was here.
Have you seen Psych?
I've seen the movies because we had a marathon because I was invited to go see a Psych movie marathon.
Because there's one episode of Psych where they go out into this town where they have zero cell phone service. And that's kind of like what I'm picturing this junior college, where this junior college is at.
Yes.
It's out away from everything. Everybody's related to everyone. Everyone knows everyone. There's like a couple thousand students at this junior college.
Yes. Sounds a little familiar, but we're making this scary.
The pointless void is this monster that comes out of the mountains.
Okay. So, why does our character decide they need to go to this college? Because this college is like cheap, right?
Yeah.
That's why people come here.
Yeah.
It's not because it's like fantastic. Like they have classes, you can learn stuff, but it's not that great. It's just very, very cheap. Yeah. So how did I guess that's not a problem with a person. There's so many people that are in a situation where they need a cheap college.
Yeah.
Like me. But like, what did he get in trouble in high school and so he couldn't? I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with a plot for why he's in this like janky school.
Or should we follow the Troy Barnes?
Yes, he broke his arms on a cake stick. Except it turns out he did it on purpose. Cake flip. Oh yeah, he does clarify.
They're much harder.
They are. But he did it on purpose. Did he say that?
Well, he said he faked it.
He faked it. Could you imagine faking an injury? But like, or not fake an injury. He said he purposely hurt himself.
Yeah.
That's different than faking an injury.
Do
you have the willpower to break your arms on purpose?
No.
I do not.
I would just say I'm too lazy and I won't do it.
Speaking of breaking arm, I see on the video, the guy jumped.
Yeah, exactly. What is that?
What is what?
Your clip art. So bad. That is so bad.
Okay. Enough of that. Okay.
Anyways.
So he was a star athlete.
He was a star pitcher for the baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
was scouted by a couple of D1 colleges, as well as one very, very pathetic Major League Baseball team.
Yeah. Getting well, it is major. He didn't even go. He went straight to the majors, skipped the minors.
Well, I mean,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, the major league clubs are the ones who do the scouting and drafting. And
okay.
And
I don't know much about baseball. Yeah. So he's a pitcher. He hurts himself by what's something stupid but realistic. He jumped off a roof, snapped his legs off.
Or they went out and were like smashing mailboxes one night.
Mm-hmm.
And he swung the bat to smash one, and it was a cement mailbox.
Oh, that's funny. Because he's like, he can't even like, yeah. Is that a thing people did? Like, that's crazy, right? Why is that fun? Just because you're like, I'm vandalizing?
I don't know.
Was that like actually, my grandfather is a terrible person, apparently. He would what they would do for fun is they would get wrenches and go around and like open up all the fire hydrants. And then the police would come and would close them and they'd follow the police car and open them back up.
That is incredible.
So he would do that. And another thing he would do is he would go to like the local farmers and like free their sheep.
Oh, that's...
And like herd them into town and like make it, and him and his friends would like make the sheep like run downtown. It's like, that's what they did for fun, is just make people's lives miserable.
The fire hydrant one's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So he hurt himself.
He hurts himself somehow.
He loses everything.
Yeah.
He's not a baseball player anymore.
He loses a scholarship, his chance to play in the majors. But there's one junior college out in the middle of nowhere, Price,
that he'd never heard about before. Like his advisors in high school never told him about this, even though it was really close to where he lived.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, what's a close town? Well, again, we're not trying to dox ourselves, even though we said the name of the town we live in. I'll maybe bleep it. Probably not. I'm too lazy. Guess where we live, everyone.
Come and find us.
Even though most people that are going to watch this first episode are probably going to be from here.
Yeah,
so
and our friends.
Yes. No one's going to listen to this quite for a while. Except if it does get popular, then people will watch the old. Anyway, I'll bleep it. So people don't know where we live. Okay. So he goes to this school because it's very cheap and because he lost all his scholarships. And when he gets there, the teachers are weird. Why are they weird?
Because they're just teaching at a junior college out in the middle of.
They're just regular junior college teachers. They don't have anything weird about them. The movie is not.
I mean, you think about the teachers that teach here.
Yeah,
they're pretty weird.
Yeah,
like a lot of them are. At least the ones who have been here for a while. The younger ones aren't as bad, but you get some of them that are a little cuckoo.
Yeah, my favorite teacher, my TV production teacher, I've been to his class. We're almost done with first semester. We've been to his class, I think, 4 times. Literally, the day we showed up, he's like, okay, so this is what our class is going to be. He's like, by the way, tomorrow, or we have the same class every other day. He's like, so the next time we have class, sorry, we're canceling it because of a soccer game. I'm like, okay, fine. So then we went it was like a week and a half into school already. We went the second time and he's like, okay, here's your first project. Here's how to, and we're making videos. We're uploading, we're editing videos on Premiere Pro. He's like, here's how you import footage into Premiere Pro. He's like, your project is due in a week. And then he's like, we don't have class until it's due. And then we do it. And then we turn it in and we go to class and he's like, okay, here's the next project. It's due in 3 weeks. And then we don't go to class until it's due. Luckily for me, I have experience in video editing. So the class is actually extremely boring for me.
Yeah.
But every other person in the class has zero experience and they just have to, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they pull it off.
I mean, I've done a little bit with Premiere. And we had one class where we went over it, but it wasn't that hard to figure out.
Well, yeah, I taught Premiere to myself, and I've gotten professional jobs. So
yeah, it's not that hard to go through all the tabs and figure out what they do.
Yeah,
or you could just go onto YouTube and look up videos on how to do stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I did when I was working on those projects.
Yeah, literally, when I was doing professional projects for money,
yeah,
I'd get the project, I'd start working on it, and then I'd realize I didn't know how to do a specific thing, and I'd look it up as I was working.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, who needs college? Why are we here?
I was actually thinking about that on the way down.
Just to suffer.
Anyways,
you could just farm. You could literally just farm.
Yeah, like I do.
What do you do? What's your job?
Well, so I provide services for farmers. So I work for a company who sells fertilizer, chemical, and seed to farmers. And then we have crop consultants who help them make decisions on what products to use, what seed to use, that kind of stuff. So,
do you want to own a farm?
Yeah.
That does what? Crops or animals or?
I want to run a ranch, so a cattle ranch.
Cool.
So I would ultimately be doing raising cows, raising crops to feed the cows through the winter type of stuff. So.
Okay, so who's the first person to die?
Okay.
I think their name should be Allie. That's a name that I just came up with at the top of my head.
Off the top of your head. There's
Yeah.
no friends that you've already mentioned by that name.
No.
Or should it be a girl named Aniqua?
Aniqua.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's Japanese, just to throw off the stereotype. Aniqua? I don't even know what that would be. I assume it would be, I don't know. I've never heard that name in my life.
I don't know. Just came to my mind.
I've heard Uniqua, the pink bug from Backyardigans. Do you know that show?
I've never really watched it, but I know what it is.
Yeah. That was on probably when I was, I don't know. Was it on when I was a kid? Or was it something my siblings watched? I can't remember. Who cares?
Who cares?
Allie's dead.
All right. Allie dies.
But she dies, she disappears, right? Because she's been voided.
Yeah. Oh.
People would think she just left.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't you leave that town?
Yeah.
Everyone talks about it all the time, but no one ever really does. So that's why it was so alarming when she actually did it.
Yeah, everyone was like sort of like happy for her, right?
Yeah, at first.
Yeah, because our character, we didn't even name our character. I jokingly said his name was Garrett because we were going to talk about, because the movie was going to be about how you die alone. It's sad. But the character's name is
John Stevens.
John Stevens. Perfect. John, the whitest name.
I mean, if we're going to talk about some backwoods college, we might as well.
Okay, whatever. We can rename him later or not.
Yeah.
John Stevens, perfect. So John Stevens is really the only person that's there that doesn't have a connection to this town. Like everyone's like lived there forever. Like their grandparents live there.
Yeah.
Their great grandparents are buried there. Like,
or they have family cousins or something that live in the town.
Like, and everyone's like, yes, everyone except John Stevens is like in this town. Like they've been in this town forever.
Yeah.
But Allie left. And it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's weird to him. Wait, no. It's got to be not weird to the people, because the people have to be part of it. It's like the whole entire town. It's like a Truman Show thing. Like, I mean, not really at all the same. I just mean like everyone's in on it except him.
Yeah.
Like the monster is the town. It's like everyone in the town. It's the buildings. It's the animals. Like there's no birds in the town, and it's like weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah. Or he just notices like, okay. So the first thing he notices weird about this town is like normally, you'd go to a park.
Let's go back to when he first comes into the town.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's when he's going to start noticing these little things. But he doesn't really, it doesn't recognize, like register right away.
Yeah.
It's only after Allie's disappearance where these things really start to register that something's weird.
Okay. So when he first walks into town, or when he first drives into town, his parents are like dropping him off.
Yeah.
He sees that like a lot of people are walking, and which is like normal.
Yeah.
But like when you look closer, you realize that they're like all walking like at the exact same pace. And no one's walking a dog. Like that would be very typical of like a normal town. They're like kind of like they're walking in different directions, but it's like it's very choreographed if you take the time to like bird's eye view it.
Yeah.
But like, so it is there, but like as a viewer of the movie, you don't really notice either, just like him. Or like there's people like standing in the park, just like standing like they're a weird NPC that like you can talk to, but like it hasn't been coded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's like no birds, no ducks in like the pond. No one. Are there people, like a bunch of people outside?
I don't know.
And I don't think our mics are picking it up, but I can hear it anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry if you can hear a party going on inside my dorm. Oh, you can definitely hear it now. Okay. It's fine. It is okay.
You do live in a dorm, so it's to be expected.
That's true. This is not. I was going to name the school now, but I couldn't think of a name. I was like, this is a normal junior college. There's actually people that are normal here.
Well, mostly.
Okay, so that's the introduction. People are walking weird, but
Yeah.
it's not noticeable, really. He gets to his place of lodging. Why did I say that in the weirdest way possible?
I don't know.
And
Also, John's backstory has to be like shown slowly throughout the show, right? Like it can't be something.
so
that
the
you
first
open with.
shot of the scene is him driving in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So like the first shot of the movie is like the introduction to the school, or like him visiting the school for something, or something like that.
Okay.
And then as the show goes on and you find out more about John, you find out that he was this incredible athlete who could have had it all, but because of some dumb decision, he lost it all.
Yeah. Okay.
And that has to somehow help with the resolution at the end.
Yes.
His like coming to story.
Okay. Yes. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think ahead. Think ahead. Okay, so you set the scene of him showing up to his dorm with his roommates. How many does he have, and why are they weird? But they're weird just like college boys are weird.
Yeah. Let's see, how stereotypical can we get this?
Very stereotypical.
He's got one foreign exchange roommate, right? Because he's living on campus.
Mm-hmm. Other than the fact that everybody should be from the town, right? We don't want foreign people.
That doesn't work.
I wonder. Okay, so if we're making this story that the whole entire town is the monster that's attacking him, the void trying to bring him in, why are they targeting him? What does he benefit them? Because he is the target.
Right.
He's the only one that's not part of it. So what, like, are they a cult that needs a sacrifice? I don't know. I'm trying to just think. Why is he special to them? Or
So the town could be like, have you read the Wheel of Time series?
no.
Oh, dang it. Anyways, so in the Wheel of Time series, I think it's the Wheel of Time. I'm pretty sure it's the Wheel of Time series. There's this town where every night they like go on this blood rampage, and then everyone wakes up and they're like, if you spend one night at that town, you will always wake up the next morning back at the town.
Ooh.
Like, so even if you get killed, like if you spend a night there, you'll wake up the next morning.
Ooh, that's cool.
So it's like something like that where the whole town knows it and they recognize it.
Oh yeah, it's
But
like they're
not-
also victims, right?
Yeah, but they're not like doing it. Does that make sense?
Yes. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
They are perpetrating, but they're also like victims of this void that's like the void is like built this town and brought people in, like lured people in and then held them forever and controlled them.
Yeah. But our character is somehow going to break that.
Or not. Nah, he'll break it. Yeah. Or not.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Stay tuned because we don't even know either because we're figuring this out as we go. But I like that. I like that. Was that my chair? What the heck? I'm knocking over my TV.
I don't trust that was the chair.
Boy, it was the chair.
I don't need no lie detector test. Tell me that one. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to. Strange Brew, classic.
Yes, you told me about this movie, but it's the moose people.
Yep. From the voice actors that play the moose off of Brother Bear are two brothers who are drunks, love beer, worthless, but then they end up finding a job at a brewery.
And
then
I wish I could be a
day.
comedian with my brother. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. I mean, they're not really brothers.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Just for show?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. I tried to get my brother. I'm like, you should do stand up with me. We should like open for each other. And he's like, nah. I mean, he's still like 15, but maybe I can get him to do it in the future.
Just keep grooming him for it and subtly drawing him to it.
Yeah, because me and him have similar. How did I lose this word? Senses of comedy? No, senses of humor. We have similar senses of humor. Apparently, I don't have any because I can't even say it.
Dude,
Also, this podcast is becoming less and less funny as we go.
I know. Okay, so we've got.
But now, if the whole town is in and the town is already victims, Allie can't. I just whistled in my. Allie can't die, or unless she's
unless it's more than unless it's the students coming to school that.
Okay, he's not the only one.
Yeah, he's not the only one.
He's not the only one. There's a few. Yes.
That way we have the foreign exchange student, and he's one of the second or third one to just.
Yeah, because he has to have people that he can rely or that he can be with that are in the same boat with him.
Yeah. Who have no.
And
idea.
then someone can turn on him. We keep coming up with ways. This is so hard because we keep coming up with like these ideas. It's like, oh, and then eventually this could happen. But it's like we have to like build up to that.
Yeah, we have to build up to it. But a lot of that, that's the thing about like storytelling and plot building and stuff is you have to know where you're trying to get to, right? You can start with an idea and that's great, but if you don't know the end, then how can you make the middle work? It's just going to be all over the place because you don't really know where you're trying to get to.
Yeah. So what's the end? He dies, he lives. The town is liberated, or is it one of those movies that ends like just another cycle? It's going to happen again.
Ooh, kind of like It.
Yes, except I think in It they do beat him in It eventually. The first part of the movie they don't. They think they beat him, but they don't.
Yeah.
And the second time they actually really do beat him.
Okay.
Yo, that book, I read that book. Stephen King was on fully cocaine right there because I don't know. Do you want me to? I'll just tell you the weirdest part of the book. Okay. So you know how they're kids. They defeat the clown the first time and they're coming out of the sewers. And as they're coming out of the sewers, the girl, Beverly Marsh, is like, oh, we need to do something so we like are friends forever.
She does.
And she's like, everyone gets to take their turn having sex with me. And they each do.
What the heck?
They each take a turn going in with her. And that's in the book, right at the end of the book.
That's just weird.
And then
how old are these kids again?
They're like, I'm pretty sure 12.
That's kind of what I was thinking. They're super young.
Yeah. And Stephen King wrote this. And then, so that was like, the way that Stephen King, like if you watched the movies, it was like them as kids. And then the second movie was them as adults.
Yeah.
But the way he wrote the book, it actually starts with them as adults. And then they flash back to when they're kids. And then so the whole book is going back and forth. So they have sex as children. And then they are back as adults, and that's the moment when they defeat the clown, and then the book ends. They don't show themselves as kids again. That's how their story ends as kids.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's how he wrote it. Why?
I'm at a loss. I don't know.
Yeah. They didn't put that in the movie, luckily.
Thankfully.
It was like 5 pages, too, because...
And naturally.
It's like, okay. But yeah, I read the book. It was a very good book, but that part was weird. He was definitely on cocaine during that point.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, so our character John has sex with every person in the sewer. That's how the story is. No.
Oh gosh. Okay. So we've got to think of. Let's see. So what are we trying to do? Are we trying to figure out the ending, or
we're just trying to move on?
Okay.
So
we got John coming in and he meets his roommates.
Yep. He has a foreign student.
Should he be Asian,
from
Asian or Latin?
Let's make him Asian.
Or
it doesn't
European.
really matter, but let's make him Asian, I guess.
Or European, like Swedish or.
Yeah, he's Swedish.
All right.
He's Swedish.
I mean, stereotypical scary movie type things, it would definitely be an Asian.
Yeah. Plus, I'm my family's from Sweden, so if I make fun of him, it's okay.
All right, let's go Swedish.
Swedish. He's like the the Swedish chef. Is that like offensive, or is it not offensive because Swedish people are white? I'm not really sure.
I have no idea.
Like the Swedish chef, the Muppet.
Yeah.
Like the like he just doesn't say words.
Yeah,
and he just
mumbles nonsense.
mumbles. I feel like that's racist, but who cares?
I mean,
it's funny.
He might actually be saying stuff in Swedish.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
I doubt it, just knowing how the Muppets are, but at the same time, knowing how the Muppets are, it wouldn't surprise me if he's actually saying something.
No, he doesn't say anything. Drew, he says basically this, he's mumbling. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our Swedish boy, Sven. Thor. I don't know. Sven.
Christoph.
Yep, it's Sven.
Sven.
Sven is normal. And then we have Garrett, the not normal part of the void kid. His name isn't Garrett because that's your name. His name is
Herb.
David. His name is David.
Herb.
Okay, there's David and Herb. Herb? Not Herb, just Herb.
Herb. That's my great uncle's name is Herb.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he like?
He's an old crotchety farmer.
What does crotchety mean? I mean, I kind of know, but
I don't know. It's just a way to describe old grumpy people. Well, he's not grumpy though. He's one of those old guys. I mean, he's like 97 or 98. Like, dude's old. Can barely move because he's been riding horses and tractors his whole life. Crotchety's just like broken down.
Okay, so we have Herb and Dave.
But
And Herb and Dave don't really talk that much.
I was going to say they were like best friends, basically.
They're best friends with each other.
Yeah.
But
they don't talk to other people. Yeah.
Sven and John are kind of talking about their fridge. It's this much space we have for the fridge. And they're just kind of ignoring them basically.
Yeah. Herb and Dave are just like the country.
And they kind of
quiet folk that just don't really like to talk to anybody.
Yeah, and they kind of can talk to each other. They communicate. You notice that they're communicating with each other very. They don't say anything really.
Yeah,
but it's they can move their head and
Yeah,
they get along. They can talk.
Very minimal words.
Yeah. Okay. So John goes to sleep for the first time, and I thought it might be interesting if he didn't dream or something. Something's different.
Oh, yeah.
But how could you portray that in the film? Does he wake up and is Sven? It's that was the weirdest sleep in my ever. It seemed like it lasted forever, but so I didn't dream. It was just black.
So the next morning, he comes out for breakfast and Sven's out there already because he's from Sweden.
Yeah, and they start talking and Sven's oh, that's literally exactly what happened to me.
It's so how was your night? Because he's he had that same thing happen to him, and at first, John is he's just I don't know, I didn't sleep very good. There's just something weird, and Sven gets all excited. He's oh yeah, me too. He's yeah, I just I didn't dream at all. I had these dreams, and I knew I was dreaming, but there was nothing in them. And Sven's yeah, that's exactly what happened to me too. Yeah.
And then they ask David, and he's normal. He says normal, the word, and then walks off to class or whatever.
They're they just look at each other well, that's weird.
Uh-huh. Okay, so how are they going to meet Allie? Because we want them to know the person that dies, or at least know that she exists. Should she be like just like a well-known person, like she's just a cheerleader, like they go to the game? No, I think they should just meet her in class.
Yeah, meet her in class or like at the welcome activity for the school.
Yeah. Okay, so they go to the welcome activity, and the reason that they see her and want to go talk to her, like John and Sven are like, oh, let's go talk to her, is because she like looks normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
Like
something different about her because she's
because she
normal.
like she looks like she's confused, and everyone else knows exactly what's happening, and it's like weird. So they talk to her, they meet her. There's a few other people they meet, and then do they go to sleep again? Are we going that fast, or
No. Man, it's got to be like at least a month into school. Right, because you got to get settled. You can't just have stuff happening right away, right?
That's true. Yeah, because we don't want her. We don't want her to just disappear. Like they need to be her friend.
Yeah, they get to know her pretty well
because they want to like care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would care, I guess, if someone from your school died.
Yeah.
I mean, that did actually. Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that, but that did actually happen to our school.
Yeah.
Someone had an accident, and it really was not good. But well, I guess it's not really appropriate to talk about. So
how come whenever
let's move on.
How come whenever anyone says the word accident, all I can think of is Off the Ringer? Have you seen that one?
Yes.
That is a wheelie big one.
That is a good movie.
Like when you said that, that's all I had going through my head. I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't say that based off of what happened, but
yeah. yeah. Man, that's a funny movie.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I forgot, why was he in the Special Olympics? Because
now I've got is Sven in my head. Stavi got his fingers cut off because he owed somebody some money. And so to save Stavi, he entered the Special Olympics to rig them because he needed the money from the Special Olympics to save Stavi or something like that.
Does the Special Olympics give a huge prize? Isn't it just to make them feel good?
Yeah.
Not them. That makes me sound like I'm like better than them. Not them.
No.
People that are in Special Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think they gave prize money. I honestly didn't.
I don't.
I thought it was just like make them feel good.
I don't think they actually do.
But he thought they did, so he tried to rig this.
In the movie, they do, but like in real life, I don't know. We'd have to do some research on that and dig in.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So what happened in the movie?
Oh
yeah, we were saying how they need to become good friends with Allie.
Yeah.
So we have Sven, we have John, we have Allie. They're getting along. They're really good friends because they all notice that everyone's weird.
Yeah.
Like they're the only ones who are not weird. Yeah. Like there's a few other people,
but they feel like they're weird because everyone else is weird.
They feel like they're the weird ones.
Yeah. They're the outcasts because everyone else is weird.
Mm-hmm. But
and that's why they kind of congregate together because the outcasts usually.
Yeah, so the whole time that they're like together, like the other people, they need to be just thinking that everyone is casting them out and like doing stuff together. Like everyone around them needs to be like, they need to not notice, but everyone needs to be being really weird.
Yeah. Like
they're hanging out, but they all just like sit down in chairs like away from each other. Or like in the background, they're talking, they're so busy talking to each other, they don't realize everyone around them
is walking backwards or something.
Yeah. I don't know if walking backwards might be too obvious, but it's gotta be something like that where it's like, I don't know, because they have to, if they weren't talking to each other, then it would be way too obvious because it would be silent, but I just don't know what they would be doing that would be weird and creepy, but wouldn't be noticeable almost at the same time. I don't know.
like everyone's looking down or something like that.
Yeah. Or looking up. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking up is weirder.
Yeah.
Because people kind of look down if they're nervous, but looking up is weird.
Yeah. Everyone's just kind of like constantly looking at the sky. Like they're constantly looking for something to show up out of the blue, out of the void.
Yeah. Because they're scared or because I think because they're scared.
Yeah, because they're scared because they know what's there.
Because, yeah. Okay. So has Sven, Ali, and John all been dreaming this, like not dreaming? Is that been happening all this time? Or that's like a once every month thing? Or do you know what I mean? Like the time when the void
that can't happen
feeds.
I think that can't happen on the first night that they're there.
No, it does have to happen on the first night they're there, but it then goes back to normal. But
well, they've got to know each other well enough that they would be willing to talk about that. Right?
yeah, but I feel like Sven, like the first night they would talk about it just because they're trying to come up with stuff to talk about because they're not friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you're with people because you now are forced to live with them. And so you have a conversation. Like that seems feasible to me.
Yeah. That's fair.
The first night.
That's just definitely not my personality. So.
Oh. Well, it feels like something I would do.
No, yeah, that's what most people would do. Yeah. I just don't like talking to people if I don't know them. So.
Okay. Well, so it feels feasible that they would, but then if they were like continually sleeping like that every single night, they would have weird questions, or they would like talk to their parents and be like, this is happening. Like, is this something that like, do I need to talk to like a therapist? Like, this is weird. Yeah. I feel like that would happen. If that happened to me, that's what I would do.
Yeah. But even then it would take a while before they'd ever talk about that.
That's true. So, like, you would say that to your friend, but then you wouldn't actually take action for a long time.
While. Until like you wouldn't tell your parents for a while. You like, I mean, unless you're one of those people who tell their parents literally everything that happens. But
yeah,
once you get to college, a lot of kids are just trying to separate.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say, the first night John and Sven talk about it and they're like, oh, that's weird. But then they don't talk about it. But then like months later, Ali brings it up.
Yeah.
And they remember, they're like, yeah. Or it's like they've been sleeping that way, but they just haven't talked about it with each other. And they're like used to it.
Yeah. And at that point they're just used to it. And then finally Ali brings it up because
she brings it up because she did dream about something.
Yeah.
She's like, I dreamed for the first time like since I got here. And it was like
a really weird, creepy
dream. Which would be what? How would she define it?
It would have to be the way that like the void makes itself known. To the people.
What's hard about this kind of a monster is like, this is like, did you see the movie Bird Box?
I started watching it and stopped.
Yeah, so I saw it one time. It's like the thing that's scary about that monster is that you don't know what it looks like. So it's like scary because it's as scary as you imagine it to be.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing with that dream is it's not like the monster shows itself, but it just makes itself known to its victim. To its next victim.
Yeah, and it's like something she couldn't explain.
Yeah.
But she was trying to explain.
Yeah.
So the thing made himself known or itself known to her in the dream. She tries to explain it to her friends, Sven and John. And she dies the next night or she disappears, I mean.
She disappears that week. But with the way that everyone in the town kind of knows and is like a victim of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like she's got to come back.
She's got to come back, but not
right away. And then she's more like everyone else in the town.
But she doesn't have the same name. She's like, oh, who are you talking about? I'm not. It's like, why quit talking to me? I'm not who you say I am and stuff. Okay, so that's interesting.
But like she disappears for a while, right? Like
Yeah, and Sven and
they
John
just kind of assume that she's dead. They move on.
and Sven and John like go to the who would you go to for a missing person? The police, right?
Yeah.
So they go to the police, and the police don't really do anything. Who would you go to on campus to talk about like your friend that's gone missing and you think they've run away? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't know where I guess I would just go to the police,
Yeah.
even though I hate the police.
Yeah, you just go to the police.
Okay, but the police don't help, or they don't.
They say all these kind of reports happen all the time.
Yeah,
She probably just
she probably just went home.
Yeah,
she
probably
drove
just went
home. It's like she doesn't have a car. Like
yeah.
this isn't something that's possible. Like she doesn't like her family. I don't know why. What? So they have a reason. Of course, they have a reason to not believe she didn't run away. But everyone says she just is gone.
Yeah.
And what next? I mean, I kind of like where we're going. I like this movie so far.
Well, it comes into the next semester. They have Christmas. They go home for Christmas, and their dreams go back to normal.
Yes.
They come back, and they've got a new roommate.
They've got a new roommate. Why?
I don't know. Because somebody just dropped out or left or something.
Okay, so what is the new roommate? What do you have in mind?
I have no idea.
Oh. Well, because I thought you meant like just like they replaced Allie, but she wasn't their roommate.
No, it's just a new person. Because I mean, it just happens all the time when people leave school. They just
Should this person be a normal person?
Yeah.
So this person's a normal person?
Yeah.
So we have another person.
Yeah. At his first night, once again, their first night back, they all don't have dreams.
Yeah, and this new person, he needs to be like really concerned about it, and he needs to be the one that's like, we need to talk about this.
Yeah, like
we need to go
on?
talk. Like because they just ignored it.
Yeah.
But he's like pointing out stuff. He's like, do you notice like everyone's walking like in perfect rhythm?
Yeah.
It's like, do you notice that like there's no birds? When's the last time you saw a bird, guys?
Yeah.
Like
have you noticed that everyone's constantly looking up and looking for something?
Yeah. And then it's like the glass is broken. Like Sven and John see everything now because once they notice it, they see it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. That's a good character. So that character's name is William. I don't know. Eliza. That's kind of a cool name.
Elijah.
I don't
know, something like
I don't know.
Eliza's kind of a girl's name. But
Yeah, I mean, we're just saying names. If we actually turned this into a script, we would get better names. But
Elijah.
Sven is the only one that's staying.
And we'll have an Aniqua.
Yeah, so Elijah. So then Elijah now needs to disappear, right? Because it's like he's catching on, so this is the Void wants to get rid of him.
And it's pretty quick too. Like it's only after like a week.
Yeah, but it's kind of so. Okay,
because there's continually things that are happening that Elijah's just like, okay, well, why is this happening? Like, have you guys not noticed this happening?
Yeah,
and so it's not like he doesn't point things out all at once. But like every day he just grows more and more concerned. Like there's something here.
Yeah, but I think he should point. I think he should just be like, he's just a person that like vocalizes what he notices.
Yeah.
And like Sven and John just kind of internalized it and just like ignored it because they didn't want it to be like a thing.
Yeah.
So he's just the type of person that like says what he feels. So anyway, so he needs to now disappear in the same way.
Yeah.
But I mean, so we need to have like a scene.
Once again, it goes back to the dream. He comes in saying, "You guys, I had the weirdest dream last night. Like, I thought the dreams before were weird, and then this happened." And he describes the same thing that Allie did.
But if he did that, then Okay, so the dream happened. Allie disappeared, but when Elijah comes in and says that, would Sven and John think that
Not
now
right away.
would he say
Not right
you're going to
away.
disappear? Because they're starting to realize everything's like whack about this town.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put two and two together at that moment. It would only be after Elijah disappears that they remember Allie telling them that she had that same dream.
Okay. So yes. So he tells them about his dream. They don't even remember, but then when he disappears, then they put they put two and two together.
Then they remember.
Okay.
Because it was the same way that Allie disappeared.
Okay, so now we're at the point in the film, two characters have died, and the other two characters are aware that something is killing them. So what are they going to do to stop it now? Because we're at that point.
So the question would be, has Allie come back?
Yes.
So like she was gone for like 2 weeks.
Let's say the day that Elijah's gone, she's back.
Oh,
right?
I like that. Yeah. And that's what makes that one so weird.
Yeah. So okay, that's what it is.
They go.
Okay, so they
Allie. Somebody like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. So that's exactly what it is, because they put two and two together that once they realize Elijah's gone, or like a new person is in Elijah's place and is one of the weird people.
Yeah.
Like Dave and I don't remember the other character's name. Who cares? But Herb. Oh yeah. Well, I guess Elijah replaced one of them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So okay, Elijah's gone. That's when they realize Allie had this dream. Elijah had this dream. Both of them disappeared, and John and Sven are talking back and forth, and then they see like Allie working in the library. No. No, where's she working? Or where do they see her?
Front desk of the library.
She's so they see her outside on a bench by herself looking up.
Yeah.
And so they freak out and they run to her and they like, where have you been? Like our friend Elijah, he's gone. Like, what happened to you? All this stuff. And then she blows them off and acts like she doesn't know who they are.
Yeah.
And walks away, continuing to look up, and she's gone. I think that's probably the last time we see her in the movie.
Either that or they slowly get more information out of her.
Yeah, well, maybe. But I just think it should be like they realize that she's gone.
Yeah.
Elijah's gone. She's back, but she's not herself. We don't see her again.
Yeah. That's either that or like she's slowly starting to come back. And like that would be like kind of a side story.
I don't know. Because I just feel like I think she's done. I think she's just a casualty of the movie.
Yeah, that works. But I
just don't know how are they going to figure this out to the point where they can stop it, or at least they don't die.
Because of her, they start asking questions to everyone else, right? Because everyone else is now, Allie's now like everyone else. And so the other people that they know and they've interacted with, they start just kind of slowly questioning and finding these things out. And they find the old lady, the stereotypical old lady that has all the answers.
I guess.
I don't know.
This is hard. It's hard to find an ending sometimes. It is creepy, though. Creepy what we've got so far. I can imagine.
This would be one of those movies that I feel like I would actually really like if it was done.
Yeah, well, of course. If it was done
obviously.
terribly, it would be the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
Which it probably will be, because we're going to be the ones making it.
Yeah, if it's made, it's going to be us making it.
Except, okay, so if we put a script on a podcast and then someone takes that idea, adapts it a little bit, and makes a movie, can we sue them? Is that a thing? Do we own the rights because we had the podcast first? I mean, this podcast proves that we wrote the script.
If the podcast is copyrighted.
Well, it's not. It doesn't need to be copyrighted because it's our
I
voices.
have no idea.
I don't know. Not that we're acting like we're like creating this fantastic movie that's going to be stolen, but I'm just genuinely curious. Like I don't know how that works.
I don't know. Because with music and stuff, yeah, it has to be copyrighted. Like the music itself has to be copyrighted.
Yeah, but you have a legal right to your intellectual property.
So yeah.
And so if you create something or write something, anyway, I don't know. Again, no one's going to steal this. It's not that good. I like the movie, but
watch in 5 years, it's going to be like the number one box office movie.
Hey, maybe this podcast will become big. We don't know. Maybe it will. I mean, I'm trying. I genuinely want to make movies. That's why I made this podcast in the first place.
Yeah.
It's because I'm trying to make movies, and this is a way to brainstorm ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to wrap up this movie.
Yeah.
And we're very close, I feel like. At least we've established the danger. There's been some casualties. The people are fully aware. How are they going to stop this thing? And how, I guess we don't need to give an origin to this monster.
No.
He's just here.
Yeah. I say it could be one of those movies where they just leave with how dumb that is. But sometimes if you do it right, that actually works. Right? You leave it open-ended.
You leave. Okay. They leave, but then how will we it's like they're in their beds with their parents, or so they leave. Okay. In their beds, their parents. I'm just thinking how could we
wrong.
we think that they're free, but then they're in their town.
Yeah.
And then
all of a sudden
they order something at the restaurant and they turn around and the person looks to the sky. Do you so it's it followed them.
Ooh.
And then that's when the movie ends.
Yeah.
So it's and there would never be a sequel, so you wouldn't know how it ended. That's such a cop out. It's we don't know how to end the movie, so it's let's say we don't know how it ends.
Or we do a sequel that ends the same exact way.
That always people die, and then I mean that is a way to end a movie in a creepy way. Just they didn't solve it, or they think they solved it, but they ended up not.
Yeah. Kind of like the first day.
Or they thought they escaped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, so we've been recording for over an hour. That's why I was wrapping it up, but the movie isn't finished. But I think we have some bones. We have some bones. I think if we came back, I think we could finish things. We could fix some loopholes. We could give characters better names. We could create some more plot.
Yeah, I think that if this were actually an idea that you'd want, that if you actually wanted to make this into a movie, you have enough that you could make it into a really good movie.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah,
we'll see if we actually want to do that.
Yeah. Well, if we keep doing this podcast, which I want to do, I mean, I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
I mean, if we keep doing this podcast, we're going to end up having many scripts.
Yeah.
And most of them are never going to go from farther than this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this one, The Pointless Void, this is our podcast namesake. The Pointless Void. By the way, I'm going to shout out Jared Littlejohn. You know who you are. You're the one who gave me the name Pointless Void, the inside joke from high school. If you didn't know, Jared Littlejohn was my first ever podcast host back in high school. And so that's why I named this podcast Pointless Void for him. So he knows what I'm talking about, but he's literally the only person that knows what I'm talking about. But for the rest of us, The Pointless Void is a junior college. All right. That is all for this episode. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.